Okay, disclaimer, safety equipment. I have added safety glasses. I have good sturdy gloves. However, the back of my truck is full of practically everything anyone would want to use for this kind of work. I did not anticipate using Mr. Circular Saw, so I failed to bring proper breathing apparatus. Um, I should at least have an N95 mask, and I don't. Now, thanks to COVID, I did find a medical surgical mask, and I'm going to use it, although it's far from optimal. So, unfortunately, I'm in the middle of nowhere, so this is not really conducive to going out and buying some additional equipment, which is why I put so much stuff in the back of my truck. All right, let's see what the saw wants to do with this thing. Incidentally, I have set the depth of the cut on this to 2 inches. That's typically how much marble was set down or how deep these slots are. So that's what I'm working on to begin with. And we'll see when we get down there, assuming we get down there, how close we were. First cut, I'm going to do right down the middle. finally starting to get to where we can see the mortar that this stone was originally set with. You notice the darker stuff that's sticking to the marble there. And then if we look down in the hole, in the slot, you can see right there where that's coming pretty clean. Right there's the face of the base stone, base of the slot. And there's very small, check that out, very small layer of mortar, which has gotten quite soft. That, however, has not made it particularly easy to get that remnants of the broken stone out of there. But as you can see, we are making pretty good progress. I think we're going to get in there here pretty soon. All right, I'm ready to pick back up here and let you see what I believe is going to be a breakthrough, literally and figuratively. I have continued to work on this off camera, partly because I was sure that you did not want to have to watch every tiny blow of this whole thing, and also to keep you from having to watch me cry. So this has been a pain in the butt. Now, the saw has made a world of difference. I've actually run one battery all the way down on the saw. I've got another one charged up and ready to go if we need it, but I'm thinking and I'm hoping maybe we don't need it. So let's see where we're at with the chisel work. Big chunk. And we're definitely down to the mortar layer at the bottom on this section. Another big chunk. Here you can see that's all mortar. Ooh, almost. All right. Definitely under it. Okay. Nice. Okay, I just need to clean up some of this mortar that's still sticking in here. I'll continue to do that. Then I've got to go back the other way to knock some of this off this end. But since I'm down to the mortar layer, that should go pretty quick and easy. So I'm going to keep working on that. And when we're back here shortly, we'll see what our next steps are to put this block in and level it. Okay. I've got all of the marble chipped out of this slot. And the only thing that is still there that I kind of want to clean up is that there are still some remnants of the old mortar that held the stone into this base. And I'd like to get rid of as much of that as I can, just because of the fact that it's going to, well, it could potentially weaken our bond when we put the stone back in with new mortar. Now, the tool I'm using for this, because that old mortar is really quite soft in there, I'm actually using a wood chisel. Now, I probably don't have to say this, but don't use your good wood chisels for this. But this is one that I've had for a while, and it's still got a little bit of a sharpness on it, but it also will work just fine, kind of digging through some of this old mortar. And I don't even have to use a hammer much. I might have to hit a few pieces of it just to be sure that I get it as clean as I want it to be, but it doesn't have to be perfect anyway. We're just basically looking to get a nice solid slot that we're going to be able to stick that stone back into, uh, mortar it in there, and have it stay for 100 years or so. All right, let's take a little look at our handiwork here. When we started off today, this base stone, which is basically a chunk of rock that has a slot cut into it that we set an old slab style tombstone into. This had its slot filled up with a chunk of marble that was where the previous stone had been broken off, right almost level with the top of this stone. That marble was mortared in, and it wasn't going anywhere. I had worked to try to chisel it out and had barely scratched the surface. So we ended up bringing into play Mr. Circular Saw with a masonry blade on it, and managed to cut a good bit of it out. At least we weakened uh, the stone and allowed ourselves to be able to chisel it uh, with a stone chisel and get it out of there. You can see that we've got it quite nicely cleaned. There's a little bit of old mortar that's still hanging there, but we've scraped most of it out, and what's there is not wanting to go anywhere, so I don't think it's going to cause us any issues. We've completed this phase of this project to get Araminta stone back standing and looking like it should. I look a little bit worse for wear because of what we've had to do to work on this, but it's all been worth it. I think we're going to stop here for this particular video. For the next one, though, we're going to work to set a solid base for this stone. We will dig down a little bit and build a base with crushed stone and sand, level it, and get the base ready to receive the upright stone. And then Araminta will be back where she was. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. Come on back and we'll see how we get this base built. Thank you.